Hi, this is Shawn, I'm the owner of Unspoken Brand, and this is Stitched.
What is fashion?
What is fashion? Man, I think that's a very open for interpretation question. It's whatever you feel makes you happy or feel good, that's fashion for you. It's what you put on to make yourself feel better, or what you envision in your mind as your style throughout life. It's a way of talking to other people. It's a way of portraying a message. It's a lot of things. It's anything you want it to be and anything you don't want it to be, really.
In your opinion, what is an absolute fashion no-no?
Oh man, fashion no-no. I want to say, from a designer's perspective, taking other people's work and not giving them any credit, or at least saying this was the inspiration for my piece, this was the general idea and how I came about it. That's the biggest no-no for me. It's way too common nowadays for people to steal names, logos, brand ideas, and just the whole idea behind a brand without giving any kind of credit. And I feel like that trend needs to stop. Other than that, I don't think there's any right or wrongs for somebody's personal fashion. You can wear whatever you want, however you want to wear it, and that's acceptable.
What is your fashion go-to?
My fashion go-to, some hats, some trainers, a light, easy chain or something if the fit requires it, and keep it simple. My idea behind fashion is to spread a message, and that's kind of how we started this whole clothing brand.
Can you tell us the story behind your brand?
So Unspoken started in like 2013, 2014. I was doing graffiti back then pretty heavily. I believe I was a freshman in high school when it really came to fruition. I started doing graffiti and got caught one too many times, and I was getting scared that I was gonna have some serious legal repercussions, and decided to take my artwork and put it on the computer, Photoshop, Illustrator, the whole 9 yards, and t-shirts and whatnot became my median instead of trains and walls and other illegal things like that.
Can you tell us about your brand name? What does it mean?
Unspoken is exactly what it sounds like. It is a brand that talks about the unspoken things in life, the unspoken characters in life, the unspoken anything in life. If there's a topic that's not talked about enough, we try to talk about it and throughout our designs. And it kind of goes back to the whole thing where I personally think that the clothing you wear is a big representation of yourself and the message you're trying to give to others. So we try to make it so that the message you're giving to others actually means something.
What is your logo? How did you create it?
My logo is actually a spray can. I got one on the inside of this. Oh no, that's gonna come up too well, but it's a spray can inside of a shield. And that was from graffiti. It's the only thing that's kind of hidden throughout the entire Unspoken is the spray can. I get that question a lot. What is it? Why is it? It's because the brand started there, and I think it's a symbolic point for me.
What was the world's first impression of your brand?
Oh, I don't even think we've reached the world yet, but the general people that have supported the brand so far have really liked it. They love the idea that you can pick a garment out from Unspoken and that's how you're feeling that day, or that's what you want to talk about that day. You just throw it on and go about your day. And a lot of times you'll get stopped, people ask questions about it, and you'll have conversations about the shirt that you are wearing and the topic that it's supposed to represent.
Can you tell us about the creative process that inspires you?
The creative process that inspires me is listening to other artists, like rap, any kind of music really. Rap just happens to be the #1 thing that I listen to. Looking at other designers, FTO Brands is one I look at. It's the homie DJ, he's been on here. Yeah, just other designers, other artists, other ideas, conversations, nature. Really draw inspiration from everywhere and anywhere.
Can you elaborate on the designs you brought with you?
Oh, absolutely. So this is called the red tie design. It's an environmental design. This is obviously the earth on fire, money bags, and it's a judicial scale kind of showing that we kind of value money more than the earth itself nowadays, and it's kind of a trend we need to reverse. And the back side here is specifically about an event that happens in Florida. It's called Red Tide. Human pollution makes it much worse than it needs to be. and we have episodes of red tide that just kill all of the fish in certain areas that it affects. And I think it's important that people that live down here know that our actions greatly affect this. We've got this one we just picked up today, 10 minutes before we came in here. And this is our mental health hat for this month. It says it's okay within the Unspoken. And this one's just talking about it's okay to feel like that. It's okay to be run down. It's okay to feel like you're in pain mentally. It's just okay. We'll go to this one. This one already, the front of it says the purpose. It's about protecting the kids, and it's about showing that the media that we show kids, the messages that we deliver to kids are very, very important. Oftentimes I feel like kids are kind of thrown into the world way too early nowadays instead of just being allowed to be kids again. And that's something that I want to at least have the conversation about with other people. So we have these, and we might have these come out in t-shirts soon. This one's the Love Wins design. This was heavily Banksy inspired. And this is just talking about how love wins over hate every time. You'll get farther helping other people than trying to tear other people down. And there you go. That's what that one's about. And this one's probably one of our most controversial designs. It was bad timing where I dropped it, the time frame. But this one is called Virus Found. And it simply is saying, it's another environmental design, that humans kind of act as a virus to this earth even though we don't have to. We take everything from it and constantly keep destroying it, as a virus would do to its host that's infected. So it's just talking about how our decisions affect everything to a much grander scale around us than we're even aware of. A lot of people thought it was a COVID design because it says virus found, and I dropped it right during COVID, but it is not. It is talking about our impact on the world and others around us.
What fabrics and materials did you use for these designs?
So almost all these are cotton blends. It depends on the thickness of them. This is a heavyweight. I think it's a 14-ounce hoodie. This is more of a midweight because it's Florida. Too hot for hoodies, even a thin hoodie. So this is only, I don't remember how much this one weighs, but it's another pre-shrunken cotton. Same with all of these. And for the trucker hat, we have a suede front side on the front. There we go. With a nylon / mesh back. So it really depends on the piece and what we're trying to portray and show. But everything that we do is very high quality. We never cut corners on that, so don't have to worry about that.
Any trims or accents we should be aware of?
Most of the time that we drop something, we'll either drop it in long sleeve or short sleeve. Hats, we'll only drop one version of it, so the only version for this hat is this specific hat. Sometimes with t-shirts like this one, we'll drop it in a couple different colors, but only with t-shirts mostly. We don't really do that too much with the hoodies. We'll keep it simple, and fortunately / unfortunately, they sell out pretty quickly, so if we were to make it in a bunch of different colors, it would be kind of a headache to restock it, but that's something we're working towards.
How would you incorporate these designs in an outfit?
Oh yeah. So you can wear it with anything. My personal favorite, I'm from up north, so Asics, New Balance, any trainers like that's a go-to for us. Red Phillies hat with this one would be perfect. It just depends on the day that you're really feeling it. You can wear this stuff to the gym, you could wear it out to the club, you can do anything you want with this stuff and it'll look great and hold up well and put the fit together for you.
How can people develop their own style?
Just trying. The best way to do it is just to try. Throw some stuff on. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Keep it moving. If you kind of like it, you can kind of play with that and incorporate it into your fit. But it's all about, it's like life. It's a learning process.
How has starting your brand affected your life?
Starting my brand's affected my life in absolutely every possible way. To the friendships that I have, the family that I have around me, to just the general way I go about thinking about things. It consumes my life. It kind of merges in with your everyday to-day life. My girlfriend and I talk about this more than really anything else. Me and my friends, they're not even my friends anymore. I consider them family. I call them the Unspoken Five. They're all my right-hand people. I can count on all of them. So you'll see fives a lot in Unspoken because we've got 5 people that help us out and they're all my right-hand people. But yeah, it's everything to me. It truly is. It consumes every waking second of my life.
What change did you have to make personally to see your brand succeed?
Oh, there's still changes I gotta make. It's a never-ending process like anything else when it comes to business. You're always tinkering around, changing things. One thing that I need to work on, and I think other people in my shoes need to work on more, is networking. People my age, I feel like, aren't the best at networking because of social media. And when I say networking, I'm not talking about on social media. Everybody does that. I'm talking in-person events. The in-person stuff that's been skipped over nowadays has a huge impact. So things like that are something that I'm personally trying to get more involved with and really elevate the brand through that.
Has there ever been a time where you felt like giving up on your brand?
Oh yeah, all the time. When you release something that you personally really love and it does not get received the way you do, it's like a punch in the stomach sometimes, especially in the very beginning when you're not like used to the rejection side of it. It's just something you gotta learn with. Realize that just fashion isn't for everybody. Your fashion isn't for everybody. You can't force someone to like it, nor do you should expect it even. So yeah, it's a never-ending list of changes that you have to make on the go, on the whim.
What has been the highest point of your brand so far?
I think protect the kids. So this one, when we dropped it, was probably the pinnacle of the brand to date. We've had, I think, 3 or 4 versions of this. Every one of them restocked and every one of them resold entirely out. The entire collection sold out like 4 or 5 times. We had a big photo shoot in Philly for it, and it kind of just got the ball rolling from the area that I'm from up north. And hopefully this design or the hat design does the same thing down here, because we just moved down here about 2 years ago. So definitely to protect the kids though.
What is your #1 problem with the fashion industry and getting your products to customers?
Oh, the fashion industry. So this is probably a different answer than most people have, and it's a problem that I'm trying to solve on my end as well because I contribute to the problem. Fast fashion's terrible. I'm not a fan of very unthought out designs and just throwing words onto shirts. I'm never just gonna type words out in a basic Photoshop print and throw it on a t-shirt and think I did something. It's lazy in my opinion, and I'm just not a fan of it. The other thing is, a lot of these garments are based out of oil. So like, when you're done wearing them and try to throw them out or reuse them or however you want to go about doing it, it's really not the best for the environment. Stores like H&M cause a lot of damage to the environment because almost all of their shirts and skirts and all of that are just entirely oil-based. Not really something most people think about, but it's something that I think about, and I'm trying to work on changing.
How do you see fast fashion affecting the world?
Negatively. I think fast fashion's kind of made it seem that having a clothing brand is a lot easier than it is. People nowadays think you can just type a word on a shirt, put it on social media, and push it out, and it's gonna sell out. And the reality of that is not true. I also think it's just kind of degrading the purpose of, in my mind, what fashion is, showing your message and preaching your purpose to others through garments and textiles like such. Unthought out designs just flood everything. There's gonna be 3,000 unthought designs versus 1. So it makes it a lot harder for somebody that's actually putting the time and effort into their designs to get front row and show everybody what they got, because they gotta fight through like the 3,000 ones that just got unspoken and plain text on it, you know?
If someone was starting a brand, what advice would you give them?
Be consistent. That's the biggest thing I think for having a clothing brand, is being consistent, and don't be too hard on yourself, especially in the beginning. In the beginning, you're gonna take losses. That's the most important thing with starting though, is taking losses so you learn. As long as the loss isn't too big and it's manageable, that's a win in the beginning. It's constantly learning, constantly failing. Just getting used to failure is a huge thing for starting any business.
How long does it take you to create a design?
Depends on the design and if I'm really passionate about the subject. Believe it or not, if I'm more passionate about the subject, it takes much, much longer because I'm a lot more anal about the details. Like the hat design probably took 2 weeks. Been through maybe 3-4 renditions. All of my designs kind of start with just a real skeletonized design that I kind of build off of, and oftentimes by like the 3rd revision of that, I just entirely scrap it because I have a new idea for the entire design. So it usually takes about half a month for me to design a full design, front, back, get it ready for printing and the whole 9 yards.
What unspoken topics do you believe people should discuss more?
There's a lot of them. The couple of them coming up that we have discussing about is the blind lead the blind. I feel like a lot of people just kind of blindly follow crowds or individuals, and nowadays, or almost put someone up on a pedestal without validating to see if they deserve to be on the pedestal. Ego death is another one. Social media is a whole nother topic that we're gonna discuss in a couple designs coming up. There's a lot of stuff we all need to talk about. We need to sit down and have a long conversation about a lot of stuff.
Where have you received the most support from?
Hometowns, definitely hometowns in my family. When I say family, I'm including my friends into that group as well. It started with them supporting, and now it's mostly strangers that are supporting me more. It kind of goes back and forth. But family and my friends always got me when I need them. So do the base supporters. We have some supporters from 2013 that we really value and appreciate that still rock with us to this day. And we're trying to build and build and build and build from that.
Any new pieces coming out soon?
This comes out June 30th. And after this, we have, I think, another version of the Political Wars. And we have the short sleeve version of this. And we have another design that we haven't announced yet that's mid-production.
How do you plan to take your brand to the next level?
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, hopefully. And like I had spoken about earlier, the in-person marketing I think is gonna really help. Sitting down doing events like these where I get to talk about Unspoken and what Unspoken means to me. And some giveaways, just really getting involved with the community is the best way I think that we're gonna elevate ourselves.
What do you want people to remember about your brand?
The message. The message is the big thing. That is the only thing I want you to remember, is the meaning and message behind what you're wearing, and be happy and proud that you are wearing it, and hopefully starting a conversation about that topic.
What can the world expect from your brand going forward?
Big things. We got a lot of designs coming out. We got a lot of pop-ups that we're planning. Hopefully we do more podcasts like this with more great people. We got a lot of stuff coming. Just stay tuned.
Where can people find and purchase Unspoken Brand?
You can find Unspoken and purchase Unspoken, all at Unspoken Brand, all one word. The website is unspokenbrand.com, but if you just look up Unspoken Brand, one word, it'll all come up, first 3 things on Google. Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
That was easy.
That was stupid simple. So this studio come with the lights and everything, or you bring all this stuff yourself?